Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Red Sky Alliance Weekly Threat Brief. My name is Jonathan Sweeney, and I am the Red X-Ray Program Manager here with Red Sky Alliance. Let's get started with today's brief. On the agenda for today, we are going to briefly discuss the recent increase in Emotet activity. We will then go over 7 days of trending, including the latest APT activities, Botnet activity, cloud security, blacklist, and Keylogger activity. Towards the end of the summer months, Red Sky analysts have noticed a serious upswing in Emotet activity, specifically in the maritime sector. Actors are not only increasing the malware's technical capabilities, but they have also sharpened the social engineering side of the attacks. They have been seen spreading the malware through malicious attachments or URLs in hijacked email chains. Targets are much more likely to open a document sent to them from someone they've been having a communication or a conversation with. The image on the left shows a malicious maritime email example in which there was a message sent as part of a chain. The message sent is very simple and includes a malicious Word document attachment. When the user downloads this attachment, they would see the image which is shown on your right, and it tells them that because the file originated from an iOS device, they must enable macros. They would also see a prompt at the top of their Word application to enable the macros, which allows the malware to run. In one case, attackers impersonated a legitimate employee of an energy company based in India. They targeted a maritime crane service based in Germany in what appears to be a supply chain attack. Further information is available in our Maritime Vessel Impersonation Reporting, TR 20-209-006. Researchers at Clear Sky Security have discovered a campaign run by the Charming Kitten APT group out of Iran. APT 35 was seen impersonating Deutsche Welle and the Jewish Journal through WhatsApp and attempting to spread malware via malicious URL. WhatsApp is a reasonably secure phone messaging app, and attackers used social media apps such as Facebook or LinkedIn in this campaign, and even went as far to speak with their targets on the phone using WhatsApp and a legitimate German phone number. This is another example of how APT groups continue to increase their social engineering skills along with their technical sophistication. French President Emmanuel Macron has recently announced that France will allow Huawei 5G technology to be used by his government. Huawei has been accused by the United States of assisting the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, with cyber espionage activities. Macron says he'll favor European technology for security, but will not prevent Huawei from installing technology in his country. In July, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that he plans to phase Huawei equipment out of the country in as little as 6 months. This after a report by GCHQ that believes that a US ban on the company will force Huawei to use untrusted technology. In case nobody has heard, in case nobody's watched TV or listened to a radio in the past year, 2020 is an election year. I know you probably haven't heard enough about the election, so I have just what you need, more election news. There are conflicting reports about a voter database appearing on the dark web. A Russian media outlet claimed that a hacker had obtained records for more than 7 million Michigan voters. The hacker claimed that the data included private records such as emails and date of birth, and that they also had data for other states such as Connecticut and Florida. User Gorka9 posted on the forum that they were making the data publicly available. However, the FBI and CISA came out with a joint statement saying that this was bogus data. Voter databases had not been hacked, and there was no private or sensitive information in the data provided. Many states provide this data for free, and this was likely an example of the attackers trying to kill two birds with one stone. They pretended to have sensitive data on a forum and then pretended to interfere with the US election. The CISA and FBI came out with a rather bold statement that they have not seen cyber attacks this year on voter databases or any systems involving voting. Some analysts would argue that voting systems have been vulnerable for over 15 years, but voter databases are not necessarily sensitive information, especially as listed by the attackers in this case. Recent gray noise activity shows ChinaNet Backbone and VNPT moving back up to the first and second spot respectively. Mobile Communication Company of Iran has dropped out of the list completely. That was in the top spot for the last brief. SMB Scanner and Eternal Blue remain in the top 2 detections as per previous reporting, and Mirai maintains its 3rd spot on that list. In the last 2 weeks, we have recorded almost 35 million fresh indicators and breach data lines as shown above. These collections include our threat recon, keylogger, malicious emails, sinkhole traffic, OSINT, botnet, and breach data. The numbers on this slide show the indicators in the respective collections. Selected indicators are available to paid Red Sky Alliance members weekly, as well as our blacklists, which come in CSV, FortiSIM, and Proofpoint formats. These are our APT and botnet indicators collected over the last 2 weeks by our sinkhole collection. We had 792 unique APT indicators in the last 14 days, and you can use your two-factor authentication to log into CTAC and download the indicators discussed today. Please contact us via Slack or email if you need any assistance. On the right, you can also see our top sinkhole statistics sorted by malware. Sality and Corcow take the top 2 spots again this week, and BetaBot remains in the 3rd place. There's a slight change up in Spamhaus botnet activity this week. Telecom Egypt, or TE Data, has been listed as the worst botnet ASN on their list. However, Red Sky Data shows a sharp increase in malicious activity on the Telecom Argentina network. Typically, Spamhaus botnet data lines up relatively closely with data. However, this week, the data differs significantly. In cloud security, we see botnet activity consistent with prior trending. Microsoft is back in the 1st place, bumping peak 10 to number 2. Amazon, GoDaddy, and Alibaba round out the rest of the top 5. Based on current botnet detections, Hurricane Electric and SharkTech remain at an elevated status, with ONR rated at a lower risk these past 2 weeks. In the past 2 weeks, we have collected a ton of malicious emails. In trending malicious emails, we see mostly the use of vishing or voicemail phishing. We continue to see Electroputer targeted with malicious PDFs. This is an industrial company based out of Romania. We also see the biggest textile chemical importer and supplier in Bangladesh was also targeted with a malicious email this week disguised as an overdue bill. Pretty common subject line there as well. Our blacklists are published weekly. Here you can see some of our keylogger indicators. Last week we observed 44,612 sinkhole connections from new unique IP addresses. We also saw 24 unique email accounts compromised with keyloggers. Please go to redskyalliance.org to inquire for additional support and complete blacklists. Thank you all for joining us today. The next threat brief is on September 16th. Please visit our Red Sky Alliance portal at redskyalliance.org for additional cyber intelligence reporting. If you have any questions regarding the topics briefed today, please get in touch with Jay McKee at wapaklabs.com. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great week.